Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing fine. I'm Saurav, your science teacher, and today we will be discussing about first chapter, that is matter in our surrounding. Okay, we will be discussing about matter in our surrounding. So let's get into this chapter and try to understand what is matter. What is matter? If I ask you what is matter, so you'll say anything that has some mass, that occupies some space. Okay, so just imagine of anything in this universe, anything, okay, they are made up of matter, any kind of matter, okay, but they are made up of matter, because anything, let's put a dot over here, it has some mass, anything which is negligible or just near to zero, but it has some mass, okay, it has some space, that means it has some size, or if I talk about size, then I'm talking about the volume. Okay, so anything, if I ask you what is matter, so the definition for matter will be anything which have mass and volume, because they have some size, okay, so anything, matter is that anything which have some mass and volume, isn't it? So anything that have some mass and volume is known as matter. Okay, so in your book you will find an activity, okay, and they are just trying to show you that how small a matter can be, okay, how small a matter can be. So let's get into this activity. They are saying that just take a beaker and just add some salt in it, salt or sugar, whatsoever you can add. You just dissolve salt or sugar in that solvent, in that liquid, in that water, okay, and now what you will find? You will find nothing but that salt or whatever sugar is completely dissolved in it. Okay, so there you won't notice any kind of change physically. Okay, if I talk about, did you notice any water level rise? If suppose there is water level up to this much and you put some salt in it, so what you will notice, the water level will rise from here to here. You think so? No, you will say no. But why? We have added some matter, isn't it? We have added matter in it, and matters have size and shape. So we have added salt, they must have size and shape, okay, they must have mass and volume. So what you think, the volume will increase or decrease, or what will remain same? You will notice the volume will remain same. And why is it so? Because the liquid in which you are just dissolving the salt or sugar have some space between them. Just see. I'm saying just put some salt in it. This is water. Okay. So what you will notice after dissolving it is nothing. So you will notice nothing new. The water level will be same. Okay. So what about the volume and mass of this matter, that is salt? because we have been discussing that matter is something which have mass and volume. So where is the volume? If we add the volume of water and volume of salt, there must be rise in the volume of solution. Okay, but you will not notice any kind of surge in the volume of solution. So where is the volume? What happened to the salt? Let's understand. The particles, okay, the matters of this liquid or water is like this. The particles of the liquid, the water, is like this. So you can see the gaps between them. So if we put salt in it, let's suppose salt particles. If we put salt in it, what happens? They get adjusted between the gaps of these particles. Okay, they get adjusted between the gaps of these particles. So you won't notice any surge in the water level. Okay, so I just, from here, this experiment, this activity, I just want to say that matters can be very small. Okay, matters can be very small. Let's take another example of your book and let's try to understand how small. From here you understand that the salt particles are so small that it can be adjusted within the water. Okay, it is so small that it can be adjusted within the gap of the particles of the water, isn't it? But if you ask me, how much, sir, how much? Okay, so let's take another example from your book. Okay, let's try to understand with that example how much. In your book you will see potassium permanganate. Few drop of potassium permanganate is dropped in water and it turns pinkish, because we know the color of potassium permanganate is pink. Okay, so let's come. Okay, so in this experiment the activities is 1.2 perhaps, I don't know, just check it out in your book. Okay, so the activities is saying that take a water, 100 milliliter of water. Okay, what is 100 milliliter of water? And put few drops, see, with the help of teaspoon, okay, put few drops of potassium permanganate, which is pinkish in color. Okay, let's say in English. Potassium permanganate, which is pink in color. Yeah, so when you will put this drop, okay, when you will put 2 drops of potassium permanganate in water, it will become pink. Okay, it will just become pink. So how it will become pink? Then again you will say the particles of potassium permanganates get adjusted within the particles of water, isn't it, like salt, isn't it? So the particles of potassium permanganate get adjusted within particles of water. So all the water turns pinkish, not just bottom or the upper part. All the water will become pink. Okay, now let's 10 milliliter from this solution, only 10 milliliter, leave 90%. Okay, take 10 milliliter and add 90 milliliter water in it. Take 10 milliliter this solution, potassium permanganate in water, pink, and add 90 milliliter, and let's make it 100 again. Okay, but again you will notice some color in it. Okay, maybe little fader than it, but you will notice some color in it. Again you take what? Again you take 10 milliliter from this solution and again add 90 milliliter pure water, fresh water. Okay, again from this and so on. So what you will notice, the pink color gets fade. Okay, but you will notice a very slight pinkish color in this solution, this solution, this solution. So what you understand exactly from this experiment? You understand that few particles also show their properties, and the particles are very small. Okay, the particles are very small. That's why if you will keep doing this, this will continue up to 3-4 times. Okay, so the particles are very, very, very small. Okay, the matter of the particles of the potassium permanganate, or we can also say matter, they are very small, very small. Okay, they are very small, but they are still expressing themselves, because we know water is colorless and the potassium permanganate is pink. So you can easily notice pinkish color in the water. Okay, so from this experiment we come to know that the matters of the potassium permanganate, or any, the size of the matter is very, very, very small. Okay, it's very small. And you need to do something. You need to make an experiment on your home. Okay, just do an experiment at your home. Just do an experiment at your home. Of course, like this experiment, okay, like putting something in the water and again taking 10 milliliter of that solution and making again 90 milliliter. Okay, putting again 90 milliliter of water, pure water, and making 100% solution, again taking 10%, again making 90%, and so on at your home. And with the steps, okay, yeah, with the steps you follow, with the steps you follow, with the steps you follow, and conclusion. Must write down the steps that you have followed. Okay, maybe you can take 50% or 90% whatsoever, but you will have to write down the steps, and you will have to note down about the component what you are taking. Like in this experiment, in the early experiment, we have seen that potassium permanganate and water is used. So you will have to take you will have to note down about the components, okay, about the ingredients, and with this and about the steps, and lastly about the conclusion. Okay, so this is your homework, and let's move ahead. What else is the experiment? Okay, there is another activity, and this activity you will have to go through. You will have to find out the conclusion of these activities. Again, something for you. You will have to find out the activity. You will have to find out the conclusion of this activity. Okay, and I will check it out. But let's talk about some properties of matters. Properties of matter. They have some size, or they have some mass and volume. Okay, matter cannot be created. They cannot be created, they cannot be destroyed by the law of conservation of energy. Okay, by the law of conservation of mass, which you will study in the higher classes. Okay, so from that law we come to know that matter cannot be created nor can be destroyed. Okay, so The properties of matter are, the matter cannot be created nor can be destroyed. Okay. So your work is, first of all, that you will have to make an experiment at your home, okay, with any ingredients nearby, and you will also have to do the activity 1.4 in your book, okay, and I think 1.3 with whatsoever is first and what I have left after 1.2 or 1.1. Just go through it and read about the chapter thoroughly about the matter. What is matter? Because in early days in India, okay, we were saying that matter is that air. We were saying that matter is air, water, that is Panch Tattva. Panch Tattva is air, water, soil, fire, Aag, Pani, and all these things. And everything is made up of what? All these things. So according to them, the matter was this. Okay. But we will study about what is matter and what types of matter and the state of matters are present, are found, and we will have to study about them. Okay. So let's meet you in the next lecture. Bye-bye.